Hello everyone, welcome to our Bible story time. Today we will explore the book of 1 Kings. In this book, we meet kings, prophets, and ordinary people who had to make important choices. As we listen to their journeys, we can learn how God guides people with wisdom and speaks to hearts that are willing to listen. The stories in 1 Kings remind us that choices matter. Some people trusted God and followed His ways, while others made mistakes and faced hard consequences. Through every event, God continued to teach His people. These lessons can help us love God, seek His wisdom, and make better decisions in our own lives. When Solomon became king, he could have asked God for riches or power. Instead, he asked for wisdom to lead the people well. God was pleased with his humble request and blessed him greatly. This teaches us that asking for understanding and a caring heart is often more valuable than asking for things. Solomon used his wisdom to build a beautiful temple for God. Skilled workers carefully prepared stones, wood, and decorations. The temple became a special place where people could worship and remember God's presence. Today, we may not build temples, but we can honor God through our actions, kindness, and faithful hearts. As Solomon grew older, he stopped following God as closely as he once did. He listened to wrong influences and allowed his heart to drift away. Even wise people can make mistakes when they forget God. This reminds us to stay close to Him and keep learning from His guidance every day. After Solomon, two kings made poor choices in different ways. Rehoboam ignored wise advice and listened to people who encouraged harsh decisions. Jeroboam became afraid and led people toward false worship. Their stories show how fear, pride, and bad advice can lead us away from what is right. Because of these wrong decisions, the kingdom divided into two parts, Israel and Judah. The people were no longer united, and many troubles followed. Choices made by leaders affected everyone around them. This reminds us that our actions can influence our families, friends, and communities in important ways. One day, a poor widow was worried because she had very little food left for her family. God sent the prophet Elijah to help her trust him. She shared what little she had, and God provided for her needs. This story teaches us that God cares for people even during difficult times. The widow's jars seemed almost empty, but God performed a miracle. As she continued pouring, there was enough oil to fill many containers. God provided exactly what was needed at the right time. When we bring our worries to Him, we can remember that His care is greater than our fears. On Mount Carmel, Elijah challenged people to choose whom they would follow. The false prophets could not answer, but God sent fire from heaven to show His power. The people saw that God alone is true. Sometimes we must choose between following the crowd and following what is right. Many false prophets made loud noises and tried hard to get attention, but nothing happened. Elijah simply prayed and trusted God. Then God answered in a powerful way. This reminds us that faith is not about making the biggest show. God listens to sincere hearts that depend on Him. Even after this great victory, Elijah became afraid and discouraged. He ran away and hid because he felt alone. Yet God did not leave him. God cared for him, strengthened him, and reminded him that he was not forgotten. God stays close to us when we feel tired or worried. Later, God spoke to Elijah in a gentle whisper. There was a strong wind, an earthquake, and a fire, but God's message came quietly. Sometimes God guides us through peaceful thoughts, wise words, or gentle reminders. We need quiet hearts so we can recognize His direction in our lives. These stories teach 3 simple steps. First, ask God for wisdom like Solomon did. Second, choose what is right even when it is difficult. Third, listen carefully for God's guidance. Following these steps helps us grow stronger in faith and make choices that honor God each day. As we finish, remember that 1 Kings teaches us to seek God's wisdom, make good choices, and listen for His voice. When challenges come, we can trust that God still cares for us and guides us. Try to practice these lessons in your daily life. Thank you for watching. God bless you. See you next time. Goodbye.